So get curious.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you do focus on what you can do, it can teach the rest of your body how to do it. If you're lying there and you're paralyzed except for one finger, that finger moving, the energies in that finger moving can actually teach the energies in the rest of your body how to activate and move.
Yes. Yes, when I had my practice, and I had a practice for 23 years, when somebody would come to me and had a real illness or real pain or something that was real debilitating, I would look in their body for what was going right, where things were really working, and pull on that energy. Is kind of like pulling on the rope when you were climbing the mountain. And the body, it really wakes up to those areas in the body or the soul or the spirit or the mind that are working. And you can work with that as a part of the weaving to help activate those parts of you that can help heal you.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
It's wonderful to get started, and you don't have to know a whole lot to get started.
No.
And I try to give very simple exercises to get started in it, and so do you in your books.
Yes.
And so there's a large body of resources out there for people to just get started and to keep moving.
Yes.
It changes the question, it changes the answer.
Yes.
Right? It changes from the question I started saying, what's wrong? It changes that to what's right and what can be more right and what can I add to even more right than that.
Yes.
And it just builds.
And what is needed here?
And what is needed here? What is needed here? If I could just teach all children in a moment where they're stuck to stop and say, what is needed here? And then to honor that answer, even if it's, I need to get out of this room right now, or I need to play with my hair, or I need to drink something, or I need to picture my dog right now and pet my little dog. You know, if we could get children and grown-ups who used to be children to trust that healing happens so quickly. It isn't years and years and years. You make these exponential leaps.
That's
because the part of the body speaks through symptoms, right? The body talks through pain and through sensations and through imagery and even through events. You know, the car not starting. I tend to believe that's our self helping us wake up to something. And the quicker we get a message and start to respond appropriately, the quicker the body stops shouting at us with really, really unpleasant messages and symptoms.
Yes.
So I'm a big believer in start that dialogue, even if you don't know where the conversation is going.
Absolutely. When I started working on myself, I didn't know where the conversation was going. What is interesting, my multiple sclerosis wasn't the first thing that got, quote, fixed. It was my allergies. I had allergies to wheats and grains. So there's a higher intelligence in us that wants to go to the source or go to the real problem. And as that peels away the layers, other things come up to the surface.
And that was your gatekeeper.
That's
your
right.
gatekeeper started to feel heard and recognized and met. And so she stopped doing her immune system stuff with the allergies, you know.
That's right. Ellen, in the last section of your book, you speak about 6 healing conversations.
I do.
Can you talk about that?
Yes. Okay. As I progressed through the book and I tried to articulate how the language worked and teach it, you know, it's kind of a total immersion experience. That's how I conceive of it, as, you know, where you go to language camp and you really learn it. It occurred to me, though, that we don't live our life in little single word sentences or little statements. It's not just about, you know, my liver is bad, how do I fix it? It's not those little statements. They're part of bigger conversations, right? Language goes, it has meaning when we can take it into conversation, even beyond dialogue.
Yes.
And expand on something that creates connection, that creates evolution and understanding. So I thought, with healing, it's not just, and again, I keep saying it's not about fixing what's wrong, but we do have to fix what's wrong sometimes because we can't function. But it is about entering into the conversation of wellness that makes that thing not have to go wrong because the needs of the body, mind, and spirit are getting met. So I've introduced 6 energy conversations or healing conversations that if someone works with those and practices and plays with those and explores them, it builds wellness kind of from the ground up. And I'm just going to go very quickly through what they are. Okay. One, I've already mentioned, gatekeeper or gatekeeping, working with your energetic immune system and your identity maker. How many people get sick because they're in the wrong job or because they aren't seen by the people around them for who they truly are, or they don't feel like they get to use their gifts adequately in everyday life? That's all about gatekeeping and identity. So the more we cultivate balance, not just balance, but expressiveness within our ability to have a gatekeeper that is effective and an identity that works for me now in this world, the healthier we can be. And it's true with each of the conversations. Another conversation I explore is grounding. And it's not just about sending roots down with your feet. We ground into lots of different dimensions. We have to ground into conversation with each other. We have to ground into the storyline of our life. And I go on and on in the book. I don't have to go on and on here. Another conversation is one that I call coherence or interconnection. I have a lung here and I have a lung here. They have to work together. And my lungs and my heart have to work together. And my stomach and my gut have to work together. So how can we use energy medicine to cultivate better teamwork amongst our body's organs, energies, behaviors, etc.? So there's a whole lot of things you can do with energy medicine for that. The 4th conversation that I explore is exchange between the self and the world. Some people, let's face it, they're sick because their family's sick. Or they're sick because they're in a toxic workplace. And I know some of you out there will really identify with this of, if I didn't have that, fill in the blank, I would be a lot healthier right now. Mm-hmm. We are designed to exchange with the world energetically. Mm-hmm. And we're designed to take things in and process them and put things out. And if we can't do that in a healthy manner, we get sick. We get illnesses that have names. And so that's another realm where you can cultivate wellness through that. The 5th one is resetting your energy flows. And I want to say, if you haven't already explored Eden Energy Medicine, I'm going to put in a big plug for Donna Eden's book, Energy Medicine, because she so beautifully teaches techniques for resetting energy flows and other things as well. But you've got some such valuable material on that. And I've added to it with a few exercises, but really our bodies of work interrelate so much. I always say, read your book and read my book. I'm just going to say it. And then the 6th conversation, you might have already guessed, it's radiance. It's how do we cultivate radiance? And you and I have already said quite a bit about that. So that's what the book kind of covers. And I want to thank you all for coming and hearing about my book. And I want to thank you for coming to present it. But I want to go beyond to say, this is not about my book. It's not even about your book, although they should all own that one. It is about making sure that each of you has tools to be able to activate your own beautiful ability to heal, to be able to cultivate wellness in your life, and not down the road, not 20 years if I do all the right things and eat all the right foods and follow somebody's rules. In this next moment, where can wellness come from? For you. That's what this conversation is about, and why I wrote my book, and I think probably why you wrote your book as well, ultimately.
Yes. When you heal yourself, and I know Ellen feels this way, and I feel this way, everybody I know who has found that their lives have gotten better because of energy medicine, you want to share it with the world. You want to help everybody else to know that they can do this for themselves. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned children earlier. we would both love to have this as a part of the curriculum for all children in schools, so that they will feel empowered as they grow.
Right. And then for all grown-ups who missed the curriculum
Yes.
the first time they were children.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's wonderful work. I really encourage you, explore energy medicine. There is also a lot online that's available at no cost.
Yes.
Our books are not expensive. Lots of resources out there for you. Play with them.
Yes.
Enjoy them. Be
Yes.
curious. Explore. And then maybe you'll write your own too.
Yes.
And the world will be a richer place for it.
Yes.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. And
Ellen.
thank you,
Thank
Donna.
Oh,
Thank you
you're going to
so
love her
much.
book. You're going to love her book.